Welcome into this Friday edition of Bengals Breakdown. I am your host, Stone Shields. Appreciate you guys joining us here today for our exclusive injury report. We're going to be taking a look at the Bengals injury report as well as the Giants injury report as well. Some pretty significant news that you'll find particularly on the Giants and a lot of good news on the Cincinnati side. So looking forward to breaking all of that down here today on today's show. But before we get into that, make sure you guys give me a follow over on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. We're trying to get to 500 followers by the end of the month of October. And we got a bit of a ways to go in that regard. So help us out, help me out, help yourself out. Give me a follow over on Twitter at StoneShields_. All of our Bengals breakdown content will be posted to my Twitter page, as well as I'll update you guys when all the beat writers, break some news as well. You also find my own personal thoughts and opinions there additionally. So help me out. Give me a follow at StoneShields_ over on Twitter. And by the way, doing a little solo producing here for today's episode. So if you're seeing me look down or what have you, just trying to do multiple things at once as we progress through our injury report here on Friday. So let's hop into it really quickly here. Chase Brown is the guy that I want to start out with here on today's show. He was limited in practice on Thursday, and it was kind of interesting to see him pop up on the injury report because he was not on the injury report on Wednesday, and it is a quad issue, so don't really have any more details beyond that at this point. Chase Brown really has come on strong this year, second year back out of Illinois, former fifth-round pick by the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the Bengals are really pleased with some of the things he's been able to do. Probably a sour taste in his mouth, getting 3 opportunities to run the football in overtime and not being able to get much yardage, and ultimately, the field goal unit comes out and doesn't execute and do their job. So I'm sure he's raring to get going again for this Cincinnati Bengals football team, but we'll continue to monitor this. He did participate. Again, he was just limited, so hopefully he is good to go, but certainly noteworthy that this kind of popped up out of nowhere yesterday after Bengals practice. Bengals' other running back also is on the injury report, but some progress with Zack. He did not practice on Wednesday. They're calling it a foot injury. Looked like he suffered a pretty nasty twisted ankle in that game against Baltimore. But again, officially a foot injury. Did not practice Wednesday, but returned to the practice field for Cincinnati yesterday. So that certainly is a good sign for this football team, and I would expect him to be ready to go for the Bengals on Sunday Night Football against the Giants. We haven't really seen anything beyond this 1-2 punch from running back. Really haven't seen many carries at all go to Travion Williams. I wouldn't expect the practice squad call up from the Georgia kid, Kendall Milton. I think these two guys will be fine and ready to go on Sunday, but it'll be interesting to see how they're moving around. If they're still, having success out there in the run game. I think the Bengals on the ground have really done a nice job over the past few weeks, kind of trending in the right direction. So hopefully these two guys are going to be good and able to go out there and play at a high level. But they are on the injury report and fighting through some aches and pains, bumps, bruises, whatever you want to call it. So that's kind of what the Bengals are currently dealing with in the running back room right now. Leads us to the pinned comment of today's video. What is your concern level with the Bengals running back injury? Scale it for us 1 to 10 in the comment section. Be honest with us. It is noteworthy, like I said, that both of them find their way onto this injury report. But both of them practicing yesterday in some capacity. So I'm not too worried about this. But give us your honest opinion in the comment section. If that ad comes here on YouTube, that's totally fine. Take advantage of it. Get down in the comment section and let us know what you think. Talking about a little tight end action here. Mike Gesicki did not practice on Wednesday, but he was out there with the football team on Thursday in a limited capacity, dealing with a hamstring injury. Certainly good to see Gesicki back at practice. I think Gesicki probably would have anticipated more snaps, more reps, more targets going into this season. But the emergence of Eric All Jr., the Bengals' 4th-round rookie, really has been astounding, the things that he's been able to do. And it's very clear that Zack Taylor and the offensive coaching staff really have a lot of trust in Eric All Jr. But I would, encourage the Bengals not to forget about Mike Gesicki. I think in the pass game, he can really do some good things for you. Eric All Jr. and Drew Sample are certainly better as blockers, but Mike Gesicki's a really, really good athlete. He's really good in the slot, big body. Would like to see him get some more targets down in the red area as well. So hopefully he's able to move around just fine, and I'm expecting him, after practicing yesterday, to be active for Cincinnati come Sunday. Sheldon Rankins, it's pretty big news here. Bengals have been without one of their starting defensive tackles in Sheldon Rankins since that injury he suffered week 2 on the road at Kansas City. So this would be a big boost to have him back. Boy, did the Bengals struggle when they were without both B.J. Hill and Sheldon Rankins at that defensive tackle position. I really thought the return of B.J. Hill last week was a big boost for the Cincinnati defense, and they appear to be playing a lot better football than what they had been in games leading up to that. So hopefully Sheldon Rankins is going to be able to go out there for Cincinnati. Nothing official on his end. He's been limited both days, dealing with that hamstring injury. But Zack Taylor said he's expecting to work Sheldon Rankins into the lineup, and it'll just be they'll just feel it out and see what he is able to do. Obviously don't want to push him too hard, but hopefully he can go out there and at least contribute to the Cincinnati team and provide an additional boost for him on Sunday night against the New York Football Giants. That is certainly the goal for Zack Taylor, Lou Anarumo, and that Bengals coaching staff at this point when you're talking about a guy like Sheldon Rankins. Moving on here with Amarius Mims. He was full Wednesday and Thursday, and that certainly is a good sign. You guys don't remember, he left the game last week and returned with a few minutes left in the game. I believe he left the first possession of the second half. Eventually came back into the game. Pretty gutsy of him to, get back out there after he was carted off. They're calling it a calf injury. They had it listed as an ankle injury during the game. I'm not exactly sure if it's something different or if it was just a calf instead of an ankle. But I remember when he hit it, it didn't really look like a ankle issue. He kind of just bumped into a leg of another player, and that's ultimately what resulted in his injury. But the Bengals really need Amarius Mims. Don't want to have to throw the guy they just signed, Stuber from the Falcons practice squad, into action in this game, and they're obviously beat up at that offensive line spot with Jackson Kirkland, their best backup in my opinion, going down with that bicep injury. That's going to sideline him for the year. But looks like Amarius Mims is in a good spot to go out there and contribute on Sunday. Mike Hilton, of course, missed the Bengals game last week against the Baltimore Ravens, but he has been practicing in full Wednesday and Thursday with that knee injury, so fully expect Hilton to be back. Probably get matched up against a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson in the slot. Going to need a big performance out of Mike Hilton as he's coming back from injury. DJ Ivey, I am really excited about DJ Ivey. 7th round pick a couple of seasons ago out of Miami for the Bengals. Suffered a torn ACL, I think, in December of last year. He's a great player on special teams, and he's one of those big corners, 6'1", got some real good size to him, and hasn't officially been activated off the PUP list. So I'm not exactly sure what the Bengals' plans are for him. Obviously, they don't want to rush him back. This was his first week of practice, but he has been practicing in full, and I think that's certainly a good sign for DJ Ivey. But with Dax Hill going down, obviously that hurts really bad because Hill was having such a good year transitioning from safety to cornerback. I feel good about DJ Ivey. Got a lot of confidence in him going forward. We'll see if he gets a call to play on Sunday or not, but at some point he's going to be able to contribute to this football team. Certainly going to be able to contribute in the special teams department as well, which he was having such a good year in that role as a rookie. So are you excited for DJ Ivey to return? Type 1 for yes or 0 for no. Another opportunity for you guys to get interactive with our show here at Bengals Breakdown. Get down in the comments section. Let us know what you think. As I said, I am very excited to see DJ Ivey return to the football field. And you just hope he's able to kind of pick up where he left off before that injury. Obviously, coming back from a major knee issue, you don't exactly know what you're going to get. But I think the Bengals got a real big steal in 2023 with DJ Ivey. And I'm excited to see him kind of carve out another role for himself here in 2024. Continue with our injury report here in a moment. But first, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Game Time, because today's show is presented by Game Time. Look, Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Game Time Picks is the easiest way to find and buy tickets to live events. Still some time if you want to make the trip up to New York, get some tickets with Game Time. Perhaps make the trip up to Cleveland next week, get some tickets at Game Time, or just wait for the Cincinnati Bengals to come back home the week after that and play the Philadelphia Eagles. But regardless, head on over to Game Time and get the best deals possible. My two favorite features on Game Time. First up, the seat views. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy with Game Time. Secondly, the all-in pricing. Toggling this feature up front allows you to see your total up front so you don't get hit with any of those surprise fees at checkout like some of those other ticketing companies can get you with. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. But again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. So what time is it? It's game time. All right, so that covers all the bases on the Cincinnati side. Let's move over to New York. And there's some real big names here on this Giants injury list. Of course, none more noteworthy than Malik Nabers, star wide receiver, rookie wide receiver out of LSU. Despite not playing last week, he is still leading the National Football League in catches. This guy's been on an absolute tear, but he did not practice Wednesday or Thursday, still in concussion protocol. If he doesn't clear concussion protocol later today, he's not going to be able to play on Sunday. So at some point later today, we are going to find out what his status is for Giants practice. And, obviously you hope for the best. You never are rooting for an injury, of course, or anything like that. You want the player to be taken care of. But this is a major factor in this football game in terms of whether or not this guy plays or not, because it's a totally different outlook for both teams if he's out there versus if he is not out there. This guy is an absolute game wrecker. He's going to be a star in this league. He's already, essentially showing that as a rookie just through a couple of games. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on how things go later this afternoon, and if he does get, cleared from concussion protocol, or if he is still in concussion protocol. So that's certainly something to monitor here as we progress throughout the afternoon, but certainly presents a lot of challenges. Zack Taylor, of course, saying they are preparing as if Malik Nabers will play. But again, later today, we'll find out more information if that's something that's actually going to be happening or not. Well, what do you guys think? Will Malik Nabers play on Sunday? Type Y for yes or N for no. Be honest with us in the comments section. I want to know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments. Do you believe Malik Nabers will play on Sunday Night Football? Keep it here at the receiver position for the Giants. Bryce Ford-Wheaton did not practice on Thursday dealing with the shoulder injury. Kind of just popped up on that last minute. He practiced on Wednesday, but was not out there for New York on Thursday. And, another young receiver for the Giants. So, if both of those guys weren't able to go, that really puts a lot of pressure on Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton. So, Giants banged up at that receiver position, and we'll see if either of those two guys are going to be able to go. Bryce Ford-Wheaton obviously had a massive play last week, returning that the field goal attempt that Isaiah Simmons blocked. He returned it to the house. Bryce Ford-Wheaton did on special teams. So, he's a player that the Giants have a lot of confidence in and can do a lot of different things for Brian Daboll and that Giants football team. Another massive name on this list, Kayvon Thibodeaux. He has not practiced this week with the wrist injury. And, the Giants really can apply a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Dexter Lawrence, at the nose tackle position is really the main catalyst for that. But Kayvon Thibodeaux out of Oregon, really high draft pick a couple of years ago. He has really carved himself out a nice career. And if he is not able to go, that is a massive, massive loss for the New York Giants. So, again, we'll continue to monitor him. And if his status on Friday, later today, changes whatsoever. Brian Burns, another massive contributor to their defense. He was limited on Wednesday and Thursday with a groin. He's going to be out there for game day. I'm not really concerned about, potentially him not being out there. He's a great player, of course, that the Giants were able to trade for this offseason. Really has been a big boost to their defense. The really question will just be whether or not he's moving around as quickly as normal. But he did practice, but in limited fashion on Wednesday and Thursday. And Devin Singletary, our last guy here, was limited Wednesday and Thursday. The Giants kind of having the two-back thing going, similar to Cincinnati with Singletary and Tracy, the kid out of Purdue. And I think the Giants really like what they have in him. He's really coming on, I believe, fifth-round rookie for the Giants. But Devin Singletary is just a solid running back in this league. He's an undersized guy, small guy. He's only standing at 5'7" tall. But I'm really a big fan of his. And I think he's just really a solid NFL player. But, he's a gutsy guy. I expect him to be out there for the Giants. But it seems like they're kind of, passing off the snaps to the rookie at that position. But Devin Singletary, a really smart, cerebral player. And we'll see if he is going to be out there on Sunday. I believe he will be, but limited in practice on Wednesday and Thursday. That's a full rundown on your injury report here going into the weekend. Sunday Night Football, Giants and Cincinnati Bengals. Massive game for both of these teams, by the way, as they try to kind of right the ship. Giants have 2 wins. Bengals, of course, only have 1. So massive game on Sunday Night Football. Island game. The whole nation certainly will be watching, and we will be live here with our watch party. Help us out. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/BengalsTV, if you have not already done so. Help us get to 12,000 subscribers. We are just 41 subscribers away from that. So by the time we go live on Sunday night, I'm hoping that we have already hit that 12K mark. So help us out. Help yourself out. And pretty much daily Bengals videos for you almost every single day. And it is all totally free. So hit that sub button right now if you haven't done so already.